You are welcome to my coffee moments. Let's have some candid conversations as we talk about personal development and empowerment. We talk about parenting, homemaking, food, finance, motherhood and lifestyle, and many much more. Welcome to my coffee moment. It's good to have another opportunity to sit back and have a nice conversation with you on my coffee table. So, today I'm actually in the mood to reason on a topic I choose to call checks and balances. Checks and balances. In the accounting world, they do checks and balances. And I think we should do checks and balances in our real life. Yes, it's very important that we sometimes do checks and balances in our real life. Especially as regards to social media. Since the advent of social media, some of us have lost our balance in life. Some of us have lost our focus. This is a call to check and balance yourself. It's not for you to look at anybody. Or as we are talking now, you'll be thinking about Sandra, you'll be thinking about Ify, you'll be thinking about Evelyn. No. This is time for us to look inwards as regards ourselves, to check and balance our lives as individual, as a family, as a business entity. What have you been doing with your time lately? Do you go on social media to discuss people or irrelevant matters? Sometimes, you just casually go to social media, and by the time you know what's going on, 1 hour has passed, 2 hours is gone, and you're surprised if you actually sit at a place and spend such time. But my challenge and my worry is not really about the time spent on social media, it's on what we spend the time doing. Some people are cashing out on social media actually. So when they spend their time there, it's not a problem. They're doing their business. But the question I need us to ask ourselves is these 2 hours, this 1 hour, this 30 minutes, and the likes that I spend on social media, what do I spend them doing? Do I go to Sandra's wall to check her out? To check how many children she has and how fine she's doing with her family? Or whether the picture she took with her husband, if she was actually smiling as a proof that she's happily married? My dear, what do you do on social media? I have to shake this table today because it's very important in our personal development as we strive to rise to our full potentials. This is one of the things we have to put in check, how we spend our time. Do you go on social media making unnecessary arguments? Some of these influencers, they like being controversial because it's in their being controversial that they gain followership. Do you fall to that trap of going there to argue, make unnecessary arguments, argue unnecessarily, even when you don't have the facts, even when the person you're arguing with doesn't even have facts? So why waste your time arguing with this person? And after you have checked all these things and you spend more than 5% of your time doing these things on social media, you need to call yourself back to order. There are plenty of things you can do with that time. Plenty things. If you can't add value to yourself, at least you add to your neighborhood, to humanity. You add value to others. What do you spend your time doing? We need to check ourselves. Could it be why you are not where you thought you would have been by now? Think about it. Could it be why you have not achieved the things you thought you should have achieved? Could that be the reason you're not where you thought you would have been? Because all those little time taking, I call it little foxes, as the scripture call our sins, little fox. You'll be looking at it as small things and all that, and it's creeping in, building momentum, building houses. You know, the Bible said we should look at the ants and learn. You can imagine that. Human beings, as big as we are, we should learn from the ants. There must be something the ants is doing that we need to learn. These ants build houses. Meanwhile, they cannot carry block or mold cement. We need to go study the ants and find out how they do this. Those little things that they do becomes big things. So these guys are wise. And we are here waiting for that big event that will make us to blow. That big event that will make us to rise. We are waiting for that big event. And these little foxes, little ants are making little efforts, and the efforts are building up. By the time you come back tomorrow, you see significant changes. By the time you come back next month, they are done building, and we think we are wiser because we think we have a brain. Yes, it's one thing to have a brain, it's another thing to have a functional brain, to put the brain to work. Actually, I don't mean to be harsh in this video, but I mean to be real and straight and say the truth and nothing but the truth. And this truth, as I'm speaking it to myself, I'm expecting you watching this video to speak this truth to yourself too. It will go a long way. It will really go a long way to help us. I choose not to show my face in this video because I don't want anybody to slap me. You know, there's something they call e-slap. Before somebody will put their hands through this video and give me a good slap. Please, I don't want. But the good thing is that as I'm evaluating, I'm also evaluating myself. What are the little foxes that take away my destiny? Like joke. I'm spending my time doing these little things, and it's taking away my time. Social media is good. Actually, I'm one of the people that social media did so much good to. I met old friends on social media, people I would have never met again. I met them on social media. I got good information on social media. I have groups that I follow that bring good information. I have other groups that talk rubbish. I try not to spend my time on them. In fact, I have learned not to spend my time on them. Those groups where some women gather to discuss house help, discuss husband, discuss those nonsense discussions that people already know the answer, but they're putting up the question on social media. Like someone coming to tell you, I am single, I am 25, I am dating this guy, he's always beating me. Should I go ahead and marry him? Oh my God, I feel like retrieving the time I used to read those questions and do something meaningful with this time. So as we are doing these checks and balances, let us take time to rechannel our energy, our time, our attention to better things. Because it's one thing to drop a habit, it's another thing to replace that habit with a better habit. So it's not enough to drop a habit, but replace with another habit. So thank you for being with me in this coffee moment as I reflect on important matters. Thank you for hanging on and listening to my rubbish. If you think I'm talking rubbish, thank you for listening. But please, before you go, check, have you subscribed? Have you liked this video? Drop your comments. Let me know what you think. Thank you for hanging out with me on my coffee table. Thank you. Until I come your way again, keep resting and resetting as you do your checks and balances. Thank you and remain blessed. I still remain your uncle, Chinyere Idoko-Ezugwu, the Eden woman.